recipe. Never gonna let any op get the best of me. Thought it was distance, but hey, this is next to me. Talk to the spirit, you know I've been heavenly. Company definitely show your trajectory. This ain't a diss cause I say it respectfully. It's time to eat up, red like a speeder. Taking it deeper and that's how it better be. I never let the...
Good morning, my A1 day ones. Yeah, so this is gonna be like a little chit chat session with me and you, cause while I get ready, while I do my little morning routine, because I feel like we got some things to talk about, like everything that's been going on this week, which I know that all of you guys been seeing it around on YouTube and social media and all of that. So, you know, I'm just like, well, let me talk about it and give my 2 cents on it, because it is crazy. Like, we got some things to talk about. Yeah. So that's what I use in the morning. So, but yeah, let's get into the Halle and DDG drama. Like, I feel sorry for her that she was a girl. I feel sorry for both of them, honestly. If you want to be real about it, like, I feel sorry for both of them. But, you know, sometimes it's sometimes like, I feel like when you're in a relationship, or when you were in a relationship and a kid come involved, it just depends on like that person, honestly, like how they will be after a baby. Because a lot of people will say, like, you know, oh, when you have kids it changes a person and stuff like that. And it's just like, I don't have any kids yet, but it's just the fact that I don't know, I can't really wrap my head around, like, I don't know who telling the truth and who not, honestly. Like, honestly, I know some of y'all probably gonna hate me for that, but listen, because it's just like, if you want to see your son and you want to have your son, if I had a kid and the dad wants to like have his son constantly, take the baby. Like, take the baby, because it's giving me a break. Like, it's giving me, especially if I'm doing movies and I'm singing and you ain't doing nothing but being on live stream, which I'm not saying that's not a job, like, that's a job, but it's kind of like, take them, but make sure you have the proper security, because I'm not just no normal baby mama. Like, I'm Halle Bailey. Like, you can't just have my child around any and everybody, and you can't just have any and everybody in your house and around your house while my child is there as well. Like, you can't just, it's like certain stuff you cannot do while my child is there. Not saying that he does that, but it's like you have to be more precautious because of who she is. So it's like, you can't just up and take your baby everywhere. And not saying that he ain't a big time person, but he ain't that big like her. So you got crazy people out here and stuff like that, and it's just like, and you can't just have your baby around, and especially your baby that can't really talk like that yet. Like, you can't really have that. But yeah, like, and if it was, I feel like if it was a big of a problem and a big of an issue that she was supposedly keeping her son away, like, even like, why not go to court? Like, I would have went to court, like, an image or not, because you see, she didn't care about his image. Damn sure didn't care about his image and everything like that. But then too, it's kind of like, you know, I don't understand, like, why he can't just get his child. Like, I understand, well, no, I'm not gonna say I understand, because I don't understand co-parenting. And then it's like, okay, yeah, if it is true you want to get your child when you want to get your child, that's not gonna fly with me too much. Like, you can't just, what if I had something planned for him? Like, you could have got him. But even with the whole Met Gala situation, even when she was at the Met Gala and he was in New York, and it's like, oh, I'm in New York, you in New York, let me just watch my kid. Like, you know, at that point, I definitely would have gave the child to the father, because that prevents me from paying for a babysitter for that day, you know? That's just how I look at it. Like, I know you and I doing nothing. You in New York, I'm in New York, so okay, cool, that's fine. You can watch the child, because, you know, even though, yeah, I do trust the babysitter, but I'm at the Met Gala, like, I don't know. But like I said, they were in a domestic violence situation, and him, if it is true, him sending her pictures of her while she was in her house, that's crazy. Like, yeah, I would give a restraining order, because what you doing in my house? Like, we ain't even together. Like, you don't need to be worried about what I'm doing, and I damn sure don't need to be worried about what you doing. As long as my child is taken care of, that's all that matters. Like, I don't care about anything. I don't care about anything else that you do. Just who you got my child around, and as long as it's like security there. Like, as long as you ain't got my child around no crazy people. Like, I trust you that you ain't gonna have my child around no crazy people, but, you know, just don't have my child around no crazy people. But you hit my head on the steering wheel and chipped my damn tooth, oh yeah, no. Right then and there, I would have took a restraining order out. But hey, you know, some people just, it gets to a certain point when a woman gets fed up. When a woman's fed up, like, that happens. Stuff like that happens. So, and she was fed up. And I don't blame her. Like, I just done a movie, I'm on vacation, and you worried about my baby being around another man. But you don't even know. Like, you didn't even ask me, and then don't be texting me crazy stuff. And then everybody knows the internet be internet. And so, like, why would you even sit up there and believe that, if it's true or not? But if it's true, we broken up. Like, we broken up. Well, so why does it matter? But yeah, so that Halle and DDG situation, I hope that it gets resolved, that they figure out who got custody of the kid, when and where, because that's just crazy. That's just very, very crazy. And like, I don't, and I'm not like the biggest DDG fan, but I did watch him when I was younger for a little bit. And, you know, I really don't see, honestly, I really don't see like him provoking a woman or putting his hands on a woman if a woman don't do it to him. Because, you know, some men just do that off the instinct, especially if like the girl is like beating their ass and ornaments, stuff like that. Or like, oh no, you can't do this and you can't do that with my child. Like, wants to have control. But, you know, I'm not saying she did that. She beat his ass or whatever and trying to have her way with the kid, and that's why he hit her. But still, or chipped her tooth, but still, at the end of the day, you gotta have some kind of self-control in front of your kid. And like, hitting her head on the steering wheel, that's like, no. Any kind of hit to a woman is like no. Any kind of hit to a man is no. So like, you know, both parties, if it is true, needed to keep their hands to themselves. Like, just because you're a female and you hit on a man is not gonna let you continue hitting on him and he not do something. But it just, you know, everybody just need to keep their hands to themselves, honestly. Whether it's male, female. Like, you shouldn't be hitting on the other party, because you never know how that other party is going to react, and he may have overreacted. So yeah, that's how I feel about that situation. But I be keeping that on locks, because I'm like, you should have went to the courts first. He should have went to the courts first. And I seen a tweet that he said that he was like, he not worried about it. So, you know, maybe he got proof of stuff that she was doing behind closed doors. So, you know, hopefully our Little Mermaid is not crazy. And not crazy, but yeah. So on to the next. So the next is Tory Lanez. Like, getting stabbed, I think they said 14 times, 14 or 19 times. Is crazy. Like, I don't even know. At this point, he got 50 Cent beat. Like, he got 50 Cent beat. And the fact that, I mean, I'm, you know, glad that he made it through or whatever. Because obviously it wasn't his time. But, you know, 14 times is crazy. And then it's just like, why is he even in public? Like, why is he even in the mix with the people? Like, general pop. Like, why is he in general population? Like, that is crazy to me. For him to be in general population and he's a celebrity. Like, you know, maybe he wanted to be in general population. I don't know. But the fact that his, oops, sorry, doing too much movement. The fact that his lungs collapsed, both of his lungs collapsed. Ooh. I'm glad he made it through. But it's just like, where was he at? Like, where was he at? Where was the guards? Like, this makes me seem like it's kind of like a setup. And it's just like the fact that people saying, oh, Meg done it, this and that. Like, I don't really know. I don't really know she would have done something like that. Like, why is she worried about this man being in jail? Like, he's in jail. It's like, what can he possibly, well, I'm not gonna say that because people can do stuff in jail behind bars, but it's like, is he really thinking about you while he in jail? Like, and I know she ain't thinking about him, so it's kind of like, why would she hire this crazy man who has done that before? Like, that's his MO. Like, if you look up the person who done it, like, that's his MO. And it's like, why would she, like, I don't know, for what? Like, he ain't got no album coming out. I mean, yeah, I know he is appealing, but it's like, why would she care about that? And why would she have this man stabbed? He already in jail. Like, what more can she want? Like, he's already serving his time. So, I don't know, but they say he's breathing fine. I kind of find it fishy, though. I'm not gonna lie. Kind of find it fishy because of the fact that his stuff is coming up. So it's just like, it's a little fishy that you get stabbed. Because maybe while some people are saying, oh, Meg did it, maybe he did it. Because I feel like you've been in there for a good minute. You've been in there. He's been in there for a good minute. And nothing really happened until now. Like, really think about that. Nothing has really happened until now. Unless I'm missing something, nothing really hasn't happened to him until now that his trial date is coming up. So, you know, sometimes prisoners and stuff be planning that stuff out. hopefully he didn't plan it out, and maybe he did, but the dude just went overboard. But you know, I don't really know how those things work. But sometimes, you know, prisoners, they say, I'm not gonna say I know, because I don't know. But they say sometimes prisoners be planning their own medical stuff so they can get away from people in the cell, or like, you know, bring traction. And I find it ironic that, you know, this whole time that he's been in jail, ain't nothing crazy happening to him until this. I don't know, let me see. Let me make sure I ain't lying. And the crazy part is he only 32. I didn't know he was 32. And he got a birthday coming up. But yeah, as I see, like, that's his only attack in jail. He's still fine though. But it's just like crazy. And then he gotta spend 10 years in there. Ooh, child. But yeah, hopefully it wasn't planned by him so he can get some attention from the media. But I'm glad that he's alive. I don't wish death on people, but I'm glad that he's alive and he's able to pull through. And maybe we will hear it on his next song. That's so petty of me. But hey, you know, they say trauma makes good for great music, so maybe we'll hear about it in one of his songs. Who knows? But yeah, so now to this Diddy trial while I let this sit. Okay, so this Diddy trial. Oh my God, y'all. I don't normally listen to court cases or like into like the court system or like that, but with this, I'm nosy, so I have to be like, because it's so to me it's interesting, because I'm just like, I know it takes survivors of domestic violence it does take time for them to, you know, get away from their abusers, because, you know, people got family members. I know family members that have been through that, and people that has been through that, and they will, you know, it takes time or whatever. But this case is so crazy, because I'm just like, the amount of money that somebody has to have people do certain things for so long before I was even born, that is crazy, like, to me. And it's just like the fact that people knew about his parties and what was going on, and like, you can tell that Cassie, like, I feel so sorry for her, but you could tell Cassie been through the ringer and that her stuff is valid. Now granted, the jury selection, I kind of figured that it was going to be majority men, because of, you know, it just, because like, it makes sense. I'm not even gonna sit up there and lie. Like, it makes sense for a majority of the jury to be men, because, you know, men understands, or, you know, can understand from his aspect, or, you know. But I'm glad they have some females on there to give that, you know, empathy or whatever. But like I said, just because it's a panel full of men can go through the same thing, and he was doing some stuff to men too. Okay, allegedly according to the court case. But first of all, I didn't even know Cassie was pregnant, so congrats to that. I really, when I seen the picture, I was like, dang, she pregnant. Like, she looked like she's ready to pop. I hate the fact that they were trying to get her husband out of there because he could be a witness to the abuse. But it's just like, he's there to support his woman, like, and even though he may be a witness, like, don't they already have his statement when they did the pre-trials or whatever? So even if he tries to switch something up to match hers, it's kind of like, oh, you didn't say that before, like, this is something new, why are you saying this now? So he is there to support his woman, and he is going to support her by any means, as he should, because he is the one that helped her gain the courage to get out of that situation. Now, the amount of baby oil, and like, I know some people are probably saying like, oh, she was able to pick her own, you know, person or whatever. And I know people was like, oh, she was a willing participant, but sometimes she was 19, so she was like, I'm not saying she was 19 during the whole time, but like, being groomed at 19, don't know the world, and especially because when you look at Cassie from when she was younger, you can tell that she was innocent. Like, she was so innocent. And so being into this snake world, as well, the snake industry, like, you could tell she was a virgin to a lot of stuff that she didn't know, that her mother didn't well, I'm not gonna say her mother, but she wasn't introduced to. I'm not gonna say she was fully sheltered, but sheltered enough to where she wouldn't know what freaky deaky Diddy was doing. And plus, he was like mid-30s. He was like mid-30s messing with a 19-year-old. That's nasty. In my opinion, that's nasty. And never, like, what can you get out of a 19-year-old? But hey, it is what it is. Like, I'm not gonna say it is what it is, but it's just like, that's nasty. But anyway, I felt like she, like, even though she got to pick her person, he still had to approve off on it. And it's just like, you don't know. I think I feel like that was a good thing that she got to pick her person, because you don't know if she was talking to them behind closed doors, like, listen, because she was trying to get up out of there. As y'all seen that video, like, she was trying to get away from him as much as she can. So it's like, she probably established a rapport with, you know, one of the prostitutes or whatever, you know, establish a rapport to where it's just like, I don't want you to do this, I don't want you to do that, like, not starstruck, and that can, like, genuinely care for her. I don't know if y'all understand what I'm trying to say, but like, somebody who she can talk to and build a rapport for, and be like, okay, I know he told you to do this, but I don't want that done. And then the golden showers, I know I'm everywhere, y'all, I'm so sorry, so sorry, but it's just like, the golden showers, ain't no way. I'm just leaving it at that. Ain't no way. But yeah, this trial is very interesting. And then the fact that it started a day after Mother's Day, which is crazy. And I seen that one of his sons' mothers was there. I can't remember. I think it's Justin's. Mother was there. And I'm just like, didn't he put his hands on you too, allegedly? Like, wasn't you running from him, allegedly? I don't know. I didn't like the fact that his daughters was there to see that or witness that. Just because, like, they're 18. I think they're 19. Oh, no, I think they'll be 19 this year. But they're 18. Like, why would they even be there? Now, I don't know if I looking at the pictures and stuff, I don't know if I seen Quincy there. I don't know if Quincy was there. But it's just like, I wouldn't have those little girls there. And I mean, I know they're not little girls. To me, they are. But Like, I know they're there to support their dad, but it's just like, to know that your dad potentially did these things, it has to take a toll on them. And I hope that they are getting the right amount of therapy that they need, and I hope that, you know, they are around loving, supporting, caring people that just gets their mind off of things, because like, their dad may be facing life. Like, at the end of the day, yes, the things that he allegedly done is jacked up and messed up, and that you did to somebody else's daughter at that. You did to somebody else's daughter. But yeah, the stuff that you did to somebody else's daughter, and the fact that you have, I think he has 4, the twins, it's like another girl, and the baby that just happened. So the fact that you have 4 kids, 4 daughters, and you decided to do crazy things allegedly to this woman, which she is somebody's daughter, it's crazy. But yeah, I just hope that the kids are getting the therapy that they need, and that they can heal, because I know that this is on everybody's mind, and this is like the day after Mother's Day, in which it could be, I'm not even gonna say could be, it's very hard for them, because they lost their mother. The twins, I'm talking about the twins, they lost their mother. And like, the fact that Mother's Day was Sunday, and then boom, your dad's trial Monday, crazy. But yeah, I just don't like the fact that they was there. I'm glad that they left listening to some of that stuff, because having that much baby oil, and then I think they said like, because I was reading the transcripts, I want to say it was like 48 hours, either 36 hours or 48 hours of non-stop 36 to 48 hours non-stop with different people. Like, I'm just imagining, and this is like, no offense, and then the fact that he said sometimes condoms were used and majority of the time not. Y'all get me? Y'all get me? I'm thinking about all those things that can transpire with different people. Like, nasty. Like, if you're gonna do what you do, wrap it up. Like, and then the fact that both of y'all are celebrities, him more so her, because she was trying to recuperate, which, girl, I get it. You trying to recuperate, which makes sense why I'm talking about some, you need IV bags, because 36 to 48 hours, like, you need time for your girl to breathe down there. Like, you can't just constantly do that, and especially not to that, like, as much BV infections and stuff. Like, come on now, your girl needs to be like, you can't just do that to the female anatomy. You can't just do that. Like, they do need time to breathe and get themselves together and rejuvenate. But for like 3 to 4 days straight, and then it's just like, what kind of pills was he taking to get him like that? Because that can't just be the blue pill. It can't just be well, they did say the drugs, so drugs make you do a lot of things, and I see why she didn't really have time to, you know, work on her album, because it was just like she trying to recuperate from that. Like, sometimes it's hard recuperating after a whole night, and you just want to lay in your bed all day. But like 3 or 4 days straight and recuperate and IV, like, I hope she had an on-call OB. And I want to know, like, well, he probably had the doctors in their pocket too, but like, I would have had my OB just living with me. I'm not even going out to you, because that can cause so much pain to the uterus, the pelvis, like. And I'm glad that she's able, through all of what she's been through, she's able to bear kids. Because sometimes when you have that much trauma on the female anatomy, sometimes you can't bear kids because of those rendezvous. And especially the crazy one, and then all those drugs that she was allegedly taking and he was allegedly doping her up with is crazy. But I'm definitely gonna stay up to date on this trial. I just wanted to chit chat and talk to you guys about that, because it was just like, we need to talk. We need to have a chit chat session about the events that's going on. Because this week I was just like, it was Mother's Day week on Sunday, and then just boom, everything just happened back to back to back, and I'm like, what is these celebrities going through and going with? And then this Diddy trial it's getting more and more like crazier. I still gotta do read yesterday's day 4. Yeah, I have to read day 4. But the fact that Cassie was saying that she had so much, and then it was 4 days, it was 4 hours and 3 days, 3 to 4 days. So that part I was right about. I couldn't remember. But the fact that she said she had so many UTIs that the antibiotics stopped working, that's scary. Because what you mean you had so many UTIs? I feel like on top of those UTIs she had other things, but I'm not gonna claim that on her because she said she had UTIs. But me as a female, and knowing the female body and how if you stress it out too much down there and too much like interaction with different people, unprotected, she had to have BB as well. Like, ain't no way she didn't have that on top of the UTIs. And then the fact that she said she had, her throat was so sore she couldn't drink water. Because of the golden showers. Ain't no way. Anyway, and it's like I feel so sorry for what she went through, because she was only 19. And like 19, late teens, early 20s, early and mid 20s. So it's just like the fact that she spent her 20s like that. And I see people like, especially during the text messages and stuff, you can tell they try to spin it as like, oh well, she enjoyed the freak offs, like she wanted to do that. But I feel like if you've never been in love before and this is your first love and nobody ever taught you how to love or how to be in love, or how a man is supposed to treat a woman, and vice versa, how a woman's supposed to treat a man, and you're teenagers, like you're still a teenager, like, okay, yeah, she was 19, but she's still a teenager. So it's like your frontal cortex as teenagers are not developed yet until you're about 25. So it's like you're still in that mindset of pleasing your partner or compromising because you want this person to love you. Like, oh my God, I want him to love me so much, or oh my God, I want her to love me so much. And it's not until you get older, until you realize like this is not love. This is not right. Like, this is not, I should be treated way better than this because I'm worth more than this. And then something would click, be like, my parents didn't teach me this. This is not it. If you have parents that are, you know, together, like my parents' relationship wasn't like this, marriage is not like this, like that starts to click. But when you're teenagers and young adults, you still do crazy things and stupid things because you're quote unquote in love. And then on top of that, he had money and a certain lifestyle, like, and even people without money and without a certain lifestyle, and they're in an abusive relationship or a domestic violence relationship, they stay. But what do they have to offer their person? They don't have PDD money. And I know somebody who, I know two people who went through a domestic violence situation, and that person wasn't worth anything. Still ain't, to this day, ain't worth of nothing. But it took them years to get out of that relationship because they thought that they could make the other person better, or they thought that they could work it out, you know. And crazy part about it is both male and female that was in a domestic relationship that I know with their partners. So it's kind of like, you do have that sympathy for that person and believe that they can change and that you can change and y'all have this future together. But when you're young-minded, it do take time for you to realize, like, hey, this is not for me. So, you know, that part is crazy. Some people have their certain limits with certain things. Them golden showers is disgusting and ridiculous. And just the fact that she was, they made her drink pee. Like, But yeah, things is getting juicy this week. Hopefully nothing else happens where I have to come back and do a car talk with you guys. But I just think that's crazy, and I think that's so ironic how after Tory Lanez gets stabbed, well, before he gets stabbed, they were saying there's new evidence that's coming out, and then he gets stabbed 14 times with 2 collapsed lungs, and then the next day they say the evidence is Kelsey's bodyguard at the time saying that he was there and witnessed that she said that she was the one that shot Megan, allegedly. But, and it's just like, sir, why wait? Why wait? It's been what, 3 years, I want to say? Why are you saying something now? But let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Let me know how y'all feel about this whole situation. I feel like somebody out of Tory Lanez trying to shut him up, because at this point I feel like he's innocent. And then the fact that, I'm sorry y'all, and then the fact that Chris Brown get locked up for an incident that happened 2 years ago when he hit somebody in the head with a bottle. And my thing is, this was 2 years ago. Why he didn't get locked up then and there? And y'all wait until now, especially after he said free Tory. Why y'all wait until now to lock him up for something that happened 2 years ago? Why wasn't he locked up and posted for bail then and there? Why wait now until he says something about Tory Lanez? That's why I said Tory probably done said something, did something in the industry to somebody, and it's just like any and everybody who sides with Tory say something about Tory, talking about free him, it seems like if they're not against Tory, something happened to him. Because, like I said, ain't no way Chris Brown get locked up for something that happened 2 years ago. Or why wait? Why do it now? Especially, I think it was like hours after he had said that. What? But y'all, let me know what y'all feel, how y'all feel about this juicy drama, celebrity drama this week. I'm in for it. And like I said, I am staying updated on the Diddy case. I am intrigued with it, so I am, you know, getting my little ducks in a row. Y'all might see me with a pen and paper with keynotes and stuff like that, because this is crazy. And then the fact that this is supposed to last 8 weeks, crazy. So let me know how you feel. Let me know your thoughts and everything, what's going on. I'm gonna try my best, because like I said, I do read the transcripts, but I'm about to start like looking at other people's channels to summarizing it up, because reading is a long time. And then the sketch artists and of these people, it's so funny. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let's have an interact. Let's talk about it. How do you guys feel about Tory Lanez, DDG and Halle, Kevin Gates, Diddy, Tory, I think I said Tory Lanez, Meg, all of that. Like, let me know in the comments down below. And I will talk to you guys in our next little chit chat that we have, and give you guys updates. Love you much.
Ayy, I got the recipe, never gonna let any op get the best of me. Thought it was distance, but haters is next to me. Talk to the spirit, you know I've been heavenly. Company definitely show your trajectory. This ain't a diss, cause I say it respectfully. It's time to eat up, red like a speeder. Taking it deeper, and that's how it better be. I never let the comparison